General Hospital spoilers reveal that one of the new shocks, the storyline of Sasha and Jason having a new plot, is truly surprising General Hospital fans. This unexpected couple is preparing for a new explosive wedding event, scheduled for the end of April 2025. No one could imagine that Jason Morgan, the quiet, emotionless man, would stand at the altar with Sasha, a woman who has endured so much tragedy in her life. But this isn't a typical love story, it's a tale of sacrifice, loyalty, and secrets that could destroy many lives. Behind the happy couple's appearance lies a new obsession with Sasha's unborn child's identity, a secret that both are trying to protect at all costs. Sasha, 5 months pregnant, has had to face curious glances and constant questions about the father of her child. She and Jason have carefully crafted a story about secretly dating for months. A narrative they hope will be convincing enough to keep the truth from being exposed. The fact that Michael is the biological father of the child puts Jason in a position to make tough decisions. Especially after he agreed to have his name on the birth certificate. Jason, who has always viewed Michael as his son, is willing to go this far to protect him from the consequences of a moment of weakness with Sasha. If Willow finds out the truth, she might use it to win full custody of Wiley and Amelia. A result Jason cannot accept. This plot twist is opening up a dramatic new development for both characters, with Jason once again proving his unwavering loyalty to the Corinthos family. But this time, his sacrifice may go further than anything he's done before. Marrying Sasha is not just a legal act, it requires Jason to live a new life, a life he never imagined. For Sasha, this marriage represents a fresh opportunity, not only to protect Michael but also to have a family for her unborn child. After losing Brando and her first child Liam, Sasha has endured so much pain. The idea of a stable family with Jason, even if built on a lie, still provides her with a sense of security she hasn't felt in a long time. The crazy story that Jason and Sasha are preparing is not just about a fake marriage but about how they might truly develop feelings for each other during the process. As they spend more time together preparing for the wedding and planning for the future, unexpected emotions begin to emerge. Jason, who hasn't opened up since Sam left, is gradually finding comfort in Sasha's presence. And Sasha, who thought she would never love again after Brando's death, is starting to see Jason in a new light. This creates a complex situation as Michael and Willow continue their custody battle. Michael, who knows about Jason and Sasha's plan, is struggling with feelings of guilt for allowing others to bear the consequences of his actions. He's also facing the reality that he won't be able to publicly claim his child with Sasha. A child he's begun to care about even though he's never met. Meanwhile, Willow is beginning to suspect something is off about Jason and Sasha's sudden relationship. With her instincts as a wife and mother, she feels something is wrong with the situation. She's started questioning, searching for clues, and even hired a private investigator to look into Jason and Sasha's relationship. If Willow discovers the truth, it could not only destroy her marriage to Michael but also lead to a bitter custody battle. As the wedding day approaches, tensions are rising in Port Charles. Carly, who has always had a complicated relationship with Sasha, is struggling with the idea of Jason marrying her. Although she understands the reasoning behind the decision, Carly is still worried about its long-term effects on Jason and her family. Sunny, while supportive of Jason's decision, is also concerned about the potential consequences of building a family based on a lie. As the wedding is being prepared, with Metro Court being lavishly decorated and the guest list including most of Port Charles's residents, one question remains: can Jason and Sasha truly keep up this ruse? Can they live in a fake marriage, raising a child they know isn't theirs, and keep this secret forever? Or will the truth eventually be exposed, with disastrous consequences for everyone involved? As Port Charles continues to follow the unfolding situation, one thing is certain: Jason and Sasha's wedding will be one of the most memorable events in General Hospital history. And whatever the outcome, it will leave wounds and secrets that could take years to heal and reveal. Jason truly needs a new storyline with his actions towards Sasha's future. As their wedding draws near, Jason is faced with difficult questions about what he really wants from this relationship. Initially, he agreed to the plan just to protect Michael and ensure he wouldn't lose custody of Wiley to Willow. But as Jason spends more time with Sasha, preparing for the wedding and planning for their unborn child, he begins to feel something unexpected, a real connection with Sasha and her unborn baby. Jason, a man known for his coldness and emotional control, is finding himself caught up in complex emotions. He has started imagining a life with Sasha and the baby, a life he had never thought of before. He's even started preparing a nursery in his apartment, buying baby items, and has even signed up for prenatal classes with Sasha. This is no longer just a plan to protect Michael. It's becoming an opportunity for Jason to have the family he's always wanted but never truly had. One of the new twists revolves around Michael returning to Port Charles, trying to piece his life back together after recovering from his burns. He has begun realizing he has stronger feelings for Sasha and their unborn child than he had expected. Every time he sees Sasha with Jason or hears about their wedding plans, Michael feels an uncontrollable surge of jealousy. Michael has started questioning his decision to allow Jason to claim the child as his. He's begun to wonder if he can truly stand by and let someone else raise his child. This has led to tense confrontations between Michael and Jason, with Michael suggesting that maybe they should reconsider their plan. This is sparking a new dispute about the biological father of Sasha's unborn child. Jason, who has started to bond with the baby, doesn't want to relinquish his role. Michael, the biological father, feels entitled to his child. And in the middle is Sasha, struggling with her own feelings and trying to decide what's best for her child. The situation becomes even more complicated as Willow starts suspecting something about Michael and Sasha's relationship. She's noticed lingering glances between them, whispered conversations, and how Michael always seems to find reasons to be near Sasha. Willow, with her instincts as a wife, begins to question the timing of the conception and whether the child is really Jason's. As tensions continue to rise, Jason, Michael, and Sasha know they need to make a final decision about the baby's future. They can't continue this dangerous game forever. Especially with Willow increasingly suspicious and the baby soon to be born. They need to decide who will be the child's father, not just on paper, but in reality. As Port Charles continues to follow the unfolding situation, one thing is certain: this custody battle will not only shape the future of the unborn child but also the future of everyone involved. And when the truth is finally exposed, as it always is in Port Charles, no one can predict the consequences it will have on Jason, Michael, Sasha, and Willow. Sasha is truly facing one of the craziest twists as she adjusts to these new changes in her life. As her pregnancy progresses and her wedding to Jason approaches, Sasha is facing an emotional storm she has never experienced before. On one hand, she's grateful for the support and protection Jason is providing. On the other hand, she can't shake the guilt of building a life based on a lie. Every night, Sasha lies awake, wondering if she's doing the right thing for her baby. Whether the child deserves to know the truth about its real father. One of the new complications arises as Sasha begins to develop real feelings for Jason. What started as a pure deal to protect Michael has slowly turned into something deeper. Sasha has started looking forward to moments with Jason, feeling safe in his arms, and even imagining a real future with him. This has created a complex situation, as Sasha is unsure if her feelings will be reciprocated, and whether she should pursue a real relationship with Jason. Especially with Michael, the real father, still in the picture. But as one of the new twists emerges, Sasha begins to notice signs that Jason might also be developing feelings for her. He started showing care for her in small ways, bringing her late-night snacks, making sure she's comfortable, and even talking about the future after the baby is born. These subtle actions have made Sasha wonder if their fake marriage could turn into something real. One of the new complications comes from Felicia, who has started noticing inconsistencies in Jason and Sasha's story. She's begun questioning when they started dating, how they've managed to keep their relationship a secret in a small town like Port Charles, and why they're rushing to get married. Felicia, always the curious one, has started digging deeper and is getting closer to the truth. What makes the situation even more complicated is that Felicia has started sharing her suspicions with Maxie, who has always had a complex relationship with Sasha. Maxie, with her natural curiosity, has started to dig further, and she's begun connecting the dots. She's realized that the timing of the conception coincides with when Michael and Willow were having marital problems, and she's begun to suspect Michael may be the baby's father. Sasha and Jason are preparing for their secret to be exposed. They've begun to plan for the worst-case scenario, discussing what they'll do if the truth comes out. Jason, always the pragmatist, has suggested they prepare for the possibility that Willow may use this information to gain custody of the child from Michael, and they need a backup plan to protect Michael's rights. Meanwhile, Sasha has started considering whether telling the truth before it's exposed might be the best choice. She's begun wondering whether continuing to live in a lie is truly the best thing for her child, and whether the child deserves to know the truth about its real father. She's also started worrying about the impact this revelation could have on her developing relationship with Jason, and whether he will forgive her if she decides to tell the truth. This is creating one of the craziest twists as Sasha and Jason face a life-changing decision. Continue with their original plan and hope their secret remains hidden, or face the truth and accept the consequences. This decision not only impacts them but also Michael, Willow, and most importantly, the unborn child. As Port Charles continues to watch the unfolding situation, one thing is certain. Sasha and Jason's story will continue to evolve in surprising and dramatic ways. And as their wedding day approaches, the pressure will only continue to mount, forcing them to confront their true feelings and decide what they want for their future, both as individuals and possibly as a couple. Sasha and Jason are set to become the new power couple in Port Charles, an unexpected development few could have predicted when their story began. What started as a fake marriage to protect Michael is slowly turning into a real alliance, with Jason and Sasha developing deep feelings for each other as they prepare for their wedding and the birth of their child. This couple is beginning to position themselves not only as a new family but also as a formidable force in the business and power world of Port Charles. Jason, with his long-standing position beside Sunny and his extensive connections in the underground world, has always been an influential figure. But now, with Sasha by his side, he is expanding his influence into new areas. Sasha, with her background in fashion and her ties to deception, is bringing a fresh aspect to Jason's empire. She has begun using her business relationships to help Jason legitimize some of his activities, creating a legitimate front for their operations. One new dynamic arises as Sunny is soon to retire, creating the possibility for a new, explosive storyline. After decades at the helm of his organization, Sunny has started considering stepping down from his leadership position. Age, family pressures, and a desire for a more peaceful life have prompted Sunny to plan for the power transition. The person he is considering to succeed him is none other than Jason, the man he has always trusted as a brother. Rumors about Sunny's impending retirement have begun circulating within Port Charles's underground world, creating a wave of activity as rival factions position themselves to take over territories and power. Crime families from neighboring cities have begun sending representatives to Port Charles to scout the situation and assess Jason's ability to take over Sunny's empire. This has created a tense situation, with Jason needing to prove that he has the skill and determination to maintain the Corinthos organization's position. This new development is beginning to build momentum as Jason and Sasha prepare for their new roles. Jason has started gathering his most loyal associates, solidifying his power, and ensuring that the transition of power will go smoothly. Sasha, with her intelligence and business instincts, has started helping Jason plan for the future of the organization, suggesting ways to expand and diversify their operations. The couple has begun acquiring local businesses, investing in real estate, and even starting a charitable foundation, all part of a larger plan to strengthen their position within the Port Charles community. They have started organizing social events, inviting influential figures in the city, and gradually building a network of allies and partners. However, not everyone is pleased with the rise of Jason and Sasha. Carly, though supportive of Jason, is concerned about Sasha's growing influence over him. She worries that Sasha may be using Jason and his position to gain power and status for herself. Michael, meanwhile, is grappling with complex feelings about Jason, whom he has always regarded as a second father, now raising his biological son and preparing to take over Sonny's role. Willow, with her growing suspicion about Michael and Sasha's relationship, has begun digging into Sasha's past and her connection with Jason. She has started gathering information, monitoring Sasha's activities, and even questioning the authenticity of Sasha's pregnancy. This has created a dangerous situation, with Willow inadvertently getting closer to the truth about Sasha and Michael's child. As Port Charles continues to watch the rise of this new power couple, one thing is certain. Jason and Sasha are on track to become an unstoppable force. And as they continue to build their empire and prepare for the birth of their child, no one can predict how far they will go or what changes they will bring to Port Charles. But one thing is certain, a new era is coming, and Jason and Sasha are leading the way. Michael is truly making waves in Port Charles with his surprising moves. After discovering the truth about Sasha's child and Jason's role in covering it up, Michael has decided to fight for his rights as the biological father of the child. No longer the calm and measured Michael everyone knew. He has become decisive and even aggressive in pursuing what he sees as his rights. Michael's change in behavior began when he overheard a conversation between Jason and Sasha, in which they discussed wedding plans and how they would raise the child, whom Michael knows is his own biological child. Initially, Michael had agreed to the plan to protect his marriage to Willow and his custody of Wiley and Amelia. But after hearing Jason and Sasha talk about their future with the child, their plans and dreams, Michael was overwhelmed with jealousy and anger he couldn't control. One of the latest shocks is Michael hiring a top-notch legal team to prepare for a custody battle. Not just for his unborn child with Sasha but also threatening to take full custody of Wiley and Amelia from Willow. Diane Miller, the Corinthos family's longtime attorney, has declined to represent Michael in this matter, citing a conflict of interest due to her long-standing relationship with Jason. This has led Michael to turn to Martin Gray, a lawyer known for his ruthlessness and effectiveness in custody battles. Martin has begun building a case against Jason and Sasha, gathering evidence of their past, including Jason's criminal history and Sasha's previous addiction issues. He has also started investigating their relationship, attempting to prove that their upcoming marriage is a sham to cover up the true father of the child. This has created a dangerous situation, with Martin unknowingly getting closer to the truth about Jason's activities and his connections to Sonny's organization. This move has created a shockwave within both the Corinthos and Quartermain families, especially as Michael is using his position at ELQ to put pressure on businesses tied to Jason and Sasha. Michael has begun pulling contracts with companies linked to Jason, refusing to fund events that Sasha is involved in, and even started buying up shares in Deception, the company where Sasha holds significant stakes. Ned, as CEO of ELQ, has started worrying about Michael's business decisions, seeing them as driven more by personal emotions than business interests. This has led to tense confrontations in the boardroom, with Ned trying to rein Michael in and Michael threatening to use his shares to remove Ned from his CEO position if he continues interfering. This situation is escalating, with family allies starting to pick sides. Carly, caught between her love for her son and loyalty to Jason, is trying to mediate the situation but seems to be failing. She has tried talking to Michael, convincing him that his actions could harm not just Jason and Sasha but also the child. But Michael, driven by feelings of betrayal and loss, refuses to listen. Sonny, who is preparing to retire, now faces a family crisis that could delay his plans to hand over power to Jason. He has tried to intervene, using his influence to convince Michael to abandon his plans. But Michael, who has always had a complicated relationship with Sonny, views his intervention as confirmation that Sonny has always placed Jason above him. Willow, meanwhile, is struggling with her own complicated emotions. While she had suspected something between Michael and Sasha, the confirmation that they have a child together is still a shock. She is facing a difficult decision. Should she stand by Michael and support him in his custody battle, or should she protect her marriage and fight to keep custody of Wiley and Amelia? Drew, who has developed feelings for Willow during Michael's recovery from his burn injuries, finds himself drawn into the conflict. He has started offering support to Willow, helping her navigate the complicated situation. This has created more tension between him and Michael, with Michael viewing Drew's support for Willow as another act of betrayal. Jason and Sasha, facing the threat from Michael, have begun preparing for the upcoming legal battle. Jason has contacted Diane, asking her to represent them in the custody case. Meanwhile, Sasha is worried about the impact this battle could have on her unborn child. She has started considering leaving Port Charles, possibly to escape the pressure and stress of the current situation. As Jason and Sasha's wedding day approaches and their child is soon to be born, Michael is putting everyone in an unimaginable position, forcing them to choose between family loyalty and what they believe is right. This battle is not just about custody, it's about power, loyalty, and the definition of family. As Port Charles continues to watch the unfolding situation, one thing is certain: the conflict between Michael, Jason, and Sasha will reshape not only the future of their unborn child but the entire Corinthos and Quartermain families. And when the dust settles, no one can predict who will remain standing and who will lose everything. Meanwhile, Felicia and Maxie continue their investigation into the relationship between Jason and Sasha, unaware that they are getting closer to a truth that could change everything. And as they continue digging, they may inadvertently uncover not just the truth about Sasha's child but also Jason's activities and Sunny's power transfer plans. This could set off a chain of events that threatens not just Jason and Sasha's upcoming wedding but the stability of Port Charles itself.